Yes! Thank God. Oh my God, it's Snapback Jones.
For you and what you sow, I'm just another one with nothing to give you but all.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the garage. What's up, everybody? This is your boy, NBY the Nerd. You checking in for the first inaugural episode of the Pro Set.
Oh, yeah.
That's right, man. We are going to get into it, the sports talk show. This is going to take over the nation, I'm telling you. Eventually, ride with me, man, and you're going to be, the day ones of the show that swept the nation, guys.
I don't understand how those words could come out of your mouth.
Today, we are going to be getting into the NFL draft, man. As you see in the title of the show, man, what a joke. It's a joke. I don't understand why they even do the NFL draft. It's just a money grab for the NFL. It really is. Another situation where the NFL is trying to push their weight around and make more money off the backs of their players, and these players aren't even paid yet. They're not even on a team. They're making money off of announcing the name of possible future players, because as we know in NFL, nothing's guaranteed, and you can get cut before you even make a roster. So it's exciting for people. I get it. We're going to talk about it because it is a hot topic in sports. But listen, man, it's not something that I see as a great event. You know, I only really watched it because I wanted to do this show on it, and I only watched the first round. I read some notes up on the rest of the rounds, but we're just going to be talking about the first round. That's really the most important round of the draft. Most of your impact players come from that. It's very, very, very rare that you'll get a impact player that comes from deeper into the draft, a la Tom Brady. So we're going to get into it, man. I'm going to play this clip real quick, and then we're going to jump right back in.
There you go. Come on. Welcome to the 2021 NFL Draft. Come on, Cleveland.
Yo, that's crazy, man. It's funny how a fan base can boo the commissioner of the sport that they love. You know what I'm saying? Like, that guy is the reason why we have the NFL as illustrious as we have it today. But just some of the things have happened in the past that Roger Goodell has been a part of makes the fans boo him when he comes out for this. And he's like encouraging them to boo, which is so funny to me. That's the first time I've ever heard him do that. Usually he's just quiet, comes to the podium, but this time he was like pumping the crowd, man. So this was a special draft, man. After the coronavirus situation, man, people are just excited to be able to congregate again. And it was in Cleveland. It was in Cleveland, Ohio. So you had a lot of Browns fans out there. But as I was watching the video, man, I saw a lot of different jerseys out there. So that was good. I'm personally a big fan of the Oakland Raiders, but my number one team is the Jacksonville Jaguars. That's my hometown. I've been riding with them since their inception in like 95, man. So we had the first pick. And obviously we know who they were going to take. And before I even get into why I'm a little upset about the whole taking of this pick, let's just hear the announcement and hear how the crowd reacted to that.
With the first pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Trevor Lawrence, quarterback, Clemson.
And so the inevitable has finally become reality. Family, friends, dog, they're all happy for Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, man. So that's what the reaction was. I mean, we're in Cleveland, and like, you can hear uproar when this guy was selected. Everybody is excited to see this guy play in the NFL. We've been waiting for 3 years for him to come in. We wanted him to come in after his freshman year, man. The guy was dominating college. I remember watching the national championship game like, yo, this guy's ready for the NFL now. People were contemplating on sports shows whether the NFL's rule about having to be out of high school for 3 years was even valid when you had a person like Trevor Lawrence. And I'm going to tell you the reason why that is so relevant now is because if you look at his career over the next couple of years, yes, Clemson did not lose a regular season game, but he was not as spectacular as he was the first season that he was in college. And I think it was just because teams got film on him. They were able to figure him out. They were able to draw up different schemes for him. And that kind of took away some of his, explosiveness as far as the way he was, as far as what he looked like, how he looked so dominant in his freshman year. So for me, I saw a lot of glaring red flags as a Jaguar fan. And I was like, yo, we are not a good team. Like, we are not a good team. The Jacksonville Jaguars, as much as I love them, are not a good team. And to bring in this rookie, and have him to be the guy, we're talking about at least a 5-year process, man. And I'm just, I'm sick of losing. That's really what it is. I'm sick of the team losing. We've been losing for a minute. We had 1 year where we almost got to the Super Bowl. And, other than that, man, it's been a lot of disappointment. And so, it's time for us to put together some kind of plan. I mean, look at even the Cleveland Browns are starting to win now, and they put together a situation. So it's like we are the dumpster fire of the NFL now. Like, we are the team that people make jokes of. Every time during the season, I'm looking at all of these talk shows. They're always clowning the Jaguars. And I mean, Trevor Lawrence, I'm not sure if he's the guy. I'm not sure if he's the guy. I personally would have rather gotten a lot of weapons, in the draft, traded him, brought in a veteran so we can win now. We bring in a rookie head coach. He's never coached in the NFL before. And it feels like he's building a college team. Like, our second draft pick, the Jaguars trade back into the first round to pick up Travis Etienne at running back. I mean, why are you drafting a running back in the first round? I mean, the guy, he's a good player, but is he really a first round running back? Come on now. He's not no Saquon Barkley. So I don't understand what the Jags did with their first round, but that's just my personal rant. We're going to go a little bit more in depth about what happened in the first round and just go down the line of different things that I saw in the draft that a lot of these, A1 or typical sports talk shows probably won't get into. But I'm going to play this clip real quick, and then we're going to jump into just go down a list of who got drafted in the NFL.
With the second pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select Zach Wilson, quarterback, BYU.
And as you can see, Zach Wilson is here. And on top of his already elite quarterback hair, he puts a New York Jets take flight cap on his lid. All right, so it is time for one of the greatest mysteries of the NFL draft in recent years to finally be resolved. Here is the quarterback of the future of the 49ers in the hands of Commissioner Roger Goodell.
With the third pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the San Francisco 49ers select Trey Lance, quarterback, North Dakota State.
And it is the Bison, Trey Lance. Just 17 career starts. Only one game due to COVID this year. A young man from a small town in Minnesota. Couldn't get recruited by many Power 5 schools as a quarterback, and he decided to bet on himself.
Wow, man. Quarterbacks 1, 2, 3 on the draft board. We kind of knew that was going to happen, but for me, it was a little bit of a surprise that the guy from North Dakota State, Trey Lance, went third pick, and I'm going to go over that a little bit more in depth. But let's go down the picks. Now that you know the first 3 picks, let's go from there. So on the 4th pick, we see Kyle Pitts, which is a tight end from the University of Florida. Went on the 4th pick. So after him was Jamar Chase from LSU to the Bengals, Jalen Waddle, wide receiver, Alabama to the Dolphins, Penny Sewell, which was a offensive tackle from Oregon. He went to the Lions. J.C. Horn from South Carolina, cornerback. He went to the Panthers. You had Patrick Surtain II go to the Denver Broncos, cornerback from Alabama. And DeVontae Smith, wide receiver, rounds out the top 10 from Alabama. He was a Heisman winner last year. He goes to the Eagles. Some honorable mentions. I'm not going to go through all 32 teams, but some honorable mentions of players that people were wanting to see as far as, were projected to go high in the draft. We had Justin Fields. He went the next pick, number 11. He was actually the quarterback of Ohio State, who made it to the national championship game last year. So he goes to the Bears. And then we see Mac Jones, who actually won the national championship last year with Alabama. He gets drafted number 15 overall to the New England Patriots. And then we see Kadarius Toney, which was a dynamic wide receiver out of Florida. Some people compare him to Tyreek Hill. He got drafted to the New York Giants with the 20th pick. So those are some notable names. Another heartwarming story for me was the Pittsburgh Steelers, who picked Najee Harris from Alabama. He's a running back. To me, he was a better running back than Travis Etienne, and the Jaguars took Travis Etienne right after they took Najee. So I think we may have wanted Najee, but because he was off the board, the Jaguars probably took Travis Etienne. But Najee, man, his story was fantastic, man. He actually threw a party at a homeless shelter that he actually had to spend some time in as a kid. So it just tells you that with hard work, man, if you put it in, you could bring yourself out of that. He's bringing his whole family, he's elevating his whole family with this situation of getting drafted. So those are some of the notable names that people may know of if you're a sports fan and you watch a lot of college football. Those are the people who actually went into the NFL at this time. So we'll see how that works out after training camp and everything, and see if everybody gets signed. But those are the people who got drafted on Thursday night. So the draft ran for, I think, 5 or 6 rounds or something like that. I don't know. After the first 3 rounds, I usually check out, man, because after that it's like that's some deep dive stuff that I don't even know about, man, because they be getting down into the technicals of all these different people. But the one draft pick I'm always curious about is the last draft pick, and we'll talk about that a little later. But let's jump right back to the beginning of the draft, and we see that Trevor Lawrence obvious goes number 1. We see that Zach Wilson, who some people thought should have went number 1, the Jaguars should have probably traded their pick to somebody who wanted Zach Wilson, got a better deal, get more players, but that's neither here nor there. But Zach Wilson goes number 2. He's a product out of BYU. I really haven't seen him play that much. I've seen his highlights. He looks pretty good, but he still has that if factor behind him because he played at BYU. I mean, the competition is not as prevalent or as strong as other places. Have we had successful quarterbacks come out of BYU and play in the NFL? Obviously, yes, we have. One that I can name off the top of my head is Steve Young. He played for the San Francisco 49ers, won a Super Bowl or two or something like that. So obviously that can happen. So if he's a hard worker, he'll do well. My issue is that he's going to the Jets. And I don't know about you, the Jets are like one of the worst teams at picking quarterbacks. I heard a radio broadcaster say that they're still looking for the heir apparent to Joe Namath. Joe Namath? Come on, man. Joe Namath haven't played football in 50 years, man. So Broadway Joe is still holding the mantle as the number one quarterback to play football with the New York Jets. So I don't know. I thought Sam Darnold was going to be a good product. I don't think they gave him enough time. But obviously with the drafting of Zach Wilson, they're really getting ready to kick him out the door. So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, that's where the Jets are going. And so we'll see what happens with that. Now, the number 3 pick, Trey Lance, out of nowhere, the guy from North Dakota State, comes in, takes the 3rd spot for the San Francisco 49ers. Now, this right here is an odd pick for everybody. And it's funny because as you listen to them describe the pick, it's almost like they're shading the fact that he was picked. They're like, oh, he's from a small school. They didn't nobody wanted to recruit him as a quarterback. And it was like, wow, that's a lot of shade. And I can't show it to you here because obviously this is an audio broadcast. But I'm watching the NFL draft on television. You should go back and watch the replay of when he got selected, the highlights that they show. Because on one of the highlights, they're talking very highly about them, which is why I can't stand the draft sometimes because they don't give any critiques. It's just, oh, this is a great player. Oh, this is a great player. Oh, this is a great player. But while they're saying, oh, this is a great player, they show videos. Whoever edited the video put in a clip of him throwing an interception while they're talking about how great of a quarterback he is. So, man, they were shading this guy very hard. Young black kid, man. We all know about blacks in the NFL as far as quarterback is concerned. There's only been 3 that have even won a Super Bowl, and I think maybe 4 or 5 that actually played in Super Bowls. So it's very hard territory for an African-American quarterback to get to the highest level in the NFL. So he's got an upward battle. Plus his playing style, to me, is not really quarterback-esque. Yes, he can throw the ball, but it feels like San Francisco is trying to build this old-school power-running, check down, maybe throw over the top every once in a while style offense. And we saw them trying to run that with their current quarterback. Name slips my mind right now, but he's not. Oh, Jimmy Garoppolo. So Jimmy Garoppolo, they're trying to run that style, and that's not what he does, man. That's not what he does best. And to me, they're the ones that held them back from winning that Super Bowl when they played in the Super Bowl. They could have won that Super Bowl, but this whole old school style that they're running in San Francisco is just really weird to me. So I guess this guy fits what they're trying to do. I'm very skeptical of it. The clip I played at the beginning of the show was actually a San Francisco fan after the announcement was made. He was just happy they didn't pick Mac Jones because everybody was saying Mac Jones was the guy that they were going to pick. And Mac Jones absolutely does not fit the San Francisco offense, man. The guy is flat-footed. He's not going to run around. He's not going to, do any of that stuff, man. So I guess they were just teasing that pick so that they can get Trey Lance, and they were able to get their guy, man. But like I said, I'm very skeptical Want to see what's going to happen. Jimmy Garoppolo is still there. So obviously Trey Lance may just sit the bench for a little bit and learn behind him. Or if they make a trade and get rid of Jimmy G, this guy could be their starter next year. So we will see what's going to happen in that situation.
Fourth pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Atlanta Falcons select Kyle Pitts, tight end, Florida.
So, the player from Florida that's atop so many people's draft board is the best prospect in this draft period, who your podcast mate, Bucky Brooks, and our colleague here at NFL Media Group, Bucky, called Daniel. He called him a gold jacket talent, and now he's going to Atlanta. What does this move mean, and how does this inform what you think the Falcons think about Matt Ryan and the rest of their new regime here?
Well, Rich, I'm going to tell you this. No, I'm just playing. Yo, Kyle Pitts is crazy. I'm a big Florida Gator fan. Grew up in Jacksonville, Florida, man, watching the Gators forever. The dude stands out like, if there was any player you watched in college and you said that dude right there is an NFL player outside of Trevor Lawrence, it was Kyle Pitts, man. And as you heard what he said, man, he was actually ranked number 1 as the prospect for the entire draft. That's crazy. A tight end ranked number 1 for the draft, man. But Kyle Pitts is the real deal, man. The guy is going to be incredible. Atlanta gets another great tight end. They've had awesome tight ends in Atlanta over the past few years. So going back to Tony Gonzalez. So this is going to be a great situation for Kyle Pitts. I can't wait to watch the guy play. He was very entertaining in college. He'll be just as entertaining in the NFL. This guy's a sure thing, and I don't know what else to say. Just look out for him, Kyle Pitts. You'll see him on the Atlanta Falcons. If you play fantasy, this is a guy you're going to want to have. He's going to be an impact just as Gronk is with Tom Brady for his times in New England, and currently your boy in Kansas City that's doing his thing with Patrick Mahomes. So Travis Kelce. So it's a great pick for Atlanta. They got him at number 4. That's the highest a tight end has ever been taken in the NFL draft. That just tells you how much of a special talent he is.
With the 10th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Philadelphia Eagles select DeVontae Smith, wide receiver, Alabama.
So it is, in fact, a reunion tour tonight. Joe Burrow reunited with his wide receiving target, Jamar Chase from LSU. And then later on, Tua, in the next pick, reunited with Jalen Waddle, his target from Alabama days in Miami. And now, Jalen Hurts, who is atop the depth chart in Philadelphia, gets the Heisman Trophy winner DeVontae Smith as his target.
Yo, that is crazy. Rich was right, man. I'm watching the draft the other night, and it's like all of these players who played with their receivers, these quarterbacks, were just getting their receivers back from college to come into the pros, man. So you saw Joe Burrow get, back hooked up with Jamar Chase, and then you saw Tua get hooked up with Waddle in Miami, and then this 10th pick, man. To me, the top 10 is the most important. You see Devontae get his due and get drafted by the Philadelphia Eagles to play alongside Jalen Hurts. So to me, that was dope, man. That was so crazy. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that before in the NFL draft, to see teammates basically get reunited in the NFL that consistently. That's 3 quarterbacks and 3 wide receivers that are being reunited. So that was crazy. DeVontae Smith, man. They to me, they really taking Jalen Waddle over him was kind of a slap in the face. The guy was the Heisman Trophy winner. The guy was crazy, athletic. He was Mac Jones' best receiver at Alabama last year. To me, he's the reason why they win the national championship game. He was just off the charts, man. I don't know why anybody would let him slip to 10. I feel like he's going to be a great player for the Eagles. The Eagles got a good player there. It's going to help Jalen Hurts. And, that's a great situation. But also, Jamar Chase and Waddle, they're no slouches either. The Bengals are going to get a great wide receiver as well as Miami. So their quarterbacks are familiar, so it's going to give them familiar targets to throw to. They're young, so this is going to be something that can, if it goes correctly, they should be able to play this out for years, man. So that rounds out the top 10 of the draft. That's really all I care about, guys. The top 10, that went into the draft. If you want more in depth, this is not the show. I am just bringing you the hot takes, the buzz words, as they say. That's what we digging into, man. But I really enjoyed the draft, and it was a fantastic first round. It was very entertaining. The NFL did a great job. Cleveland came, all the fans came out, made it a nice live event, man. The NFL doing their thing, and it's crazy how much they were able to put this together for everybody to see. So the last player that we're going to talk about tonight before we get out of here, my 30 minutes is almost up, but we always got to talk about the last player to get drafted.
It is the final pick of the 2021 NFL Draft. It started with Trevor Lawrence, and it's going to end with the name that only the Buccaneers, Melanie Salata Fitch, and Daniel Jeremiah's phone know. The rest of the world will now be clued in.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Cleveland and the National Football League. You really do rock. We've been having fun here. And now what you've all been waiting for, the announcement of Mr. Irrelevant 46. All right? Okay, ready, Jetto? With the final pick of the National Football League 2021 draft, the 259th pick by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they select Grant Steward, a linebacker from Houston. Grant, congratulations on being Mr. Irrelevant. Oh yeah, he'll be good to celebrate.
All right, and interestingly enough, pick 259 wore number 0 in college.
How about that?
You go from 0 to hero.
Yeah, everybody got to change their number last year. 0 was put in the college game.
Yeah, his general manager, Jason Light, said, look, he's very relevant to us. They think this guy's going to be a dominant special teams player. I thought he might even be a conversion to a fullback when we watched him at the Senior Bowl. It's an off-the-ball linebacker. He's a little bit tight, but he's got outstanding play speed. He delivers some huge hits, and I said he is an all-or-nothing style of play. He's going to find his role on special teams. That's what I thought, and that's what I think the expectation is for him there in Tampa. That's a heck of a linebacker room he's getting to find himself into.
Well, there you have it, folks. The last pick of the draft, pick number 259. Good God. Good gracious, man. 259, 7th round pick. Goes to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's going to a good team, man. He may win a championship next year if he gets signed. So hopefully he does what he needs to do to get signed. His name is Grant Steward, linebacker. Never seen him play in my life. Even though, Houston plays UCF, and we watch UCF games here all the time, but I didn't get a chance to see him. Maybe I saw him I don't know if he was a senior or anything. I probably saw him in the past. Didn't even think anything of it. But that's cool, man. You get a chance to get an NFL last pick of the draft. It don't matter if you're first or last. You still get in there. You get a chance to prove yourself, make some money. They say that he may be special teams. But, hey, special teams, they make impacts in games too. So, Grant, congratulations to you, my friend. And with that, we are going to close out the show. Thank you guys for listening to the first episode of the Pro Set. I'm your host, NBY the Nerd. Make sure you follow me on social media, Elite Average on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. We are gone.
Grant, congratulations on being Mr. Irrelevant. Oh yeah, he'll be good to celebrate.
I don't understand how those words could come out of your mouth.
Yes! Thank God. Oh my God, it's Snapback Jones.